Let's make this one bigger. Hi everyone, welcome to today's Hooray It's Thursday Live. Have I got a treat for you? Well, welcome to today. I'm Courtney, I'm Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm coming to you from New South Wales, Central Coast, Australia. And I'm going to be playing with an oldie but a goodie. Now we do have a little bit of news that I want to talk to you about first. So first up, I will show you, this is our little bit of news. The mini catalogue has gone live. This is our September to December catalogue. It has all of our, it has a lot of our Christmas stuff in it. You will see on our Facebook. Hi, Pauline. How you going? You will see on our, if you're checking the online store, you will see that there's a lot of online exclusives that are Christmas products as well. There's also some fabulous new scrapbooking, range. It does complement the range that's offered in this catalogue. Okay, so we've got, I'm allowed to show you the inside now. We've got some perfect, there's that Santa that we showed you the other day. There's some great little things happening here. This is one of my favorites, the Sweetest Star bundle. So you'll see that coming up in one of my lives. And there's actually one here I'm looking for. It's not that one, but I will say this one here, the decorative trees, is what I'm using for my retreat come November. I've still got seats available if anyone is interested. It's the first weekend in November. It's $200 and you actually get that bundle as part of your retreat. So I'm just looking for, where are this suite here, Reindeer Days. Look at that. Isn't that fabulous? There's actually a scrapbook kit that goes with this. And some products that complement it. So we don't have, this is a paper copy. Look, I love this too. This is a paper copy of our mini catalogue. If you don't have one, you want one, just pop me a message and I will pop one in the mail to you. But the scrapbooking kit, if you go back through my page a little bit, I think yesterday it went live. So I did pop a link up there yesterday for you. So you'll be able to see that link. It's there so that you'll be able to click on it. And there's a whole, it's about 20 pages long. Just download it. I don't advise printing it. It's easy to read through online, that one, because it's not that big. Just go in and have a little bit of a look. It will give you some ideas. It will show you all of our kits that have also landed in the, hi Lisa, they've also landed in the online store as well. So there is a special section for scrapbooking stuff. Now, one thing that I am so excited about and has landed already in my carton, is already on its way to me, is more black 12 by 12 cardstock. I can't begin to tell you how long we've been asking for that. So if anyone else is like me and really wants 12 by 12 black cardstock, it's great for 3-day items. It's also great for the backing of your scrapbooking. Go and get some, because it's there and we've been asking for it. So we want to make sure we get it. Now, Lisa did propose a question to me that the wee hours of this morning. Actually, it probably wasn't the wee hours, it was this morning though. There was a card that she showed me, which wasn't using one of the Our stamp sets, that she wanted to see how it was done. So I thought, no problems, I can do that. So I've pulled out Beauty of the Deep, which is has no sentiment. So I'll just pop it up on the screen so you can see which one it is. It's this one here. It has no sentiments. It's no longer a bundle. We have had it for over 12 months. It's its second time in the catalogue. So grab it if you want it. Doesn't mean it's going to stay, because we don't know. And these are the dies that go with it. Now, we had some fabulous paper a few years ago. We were able to make really cool diorama cards with all of that sort of stuff. So I thought I'd have a play with this. Now, because it doesn't have any sentiment on it, I did bring it over with me Simply Said. Simply Said is a very basic, let's say, everything stamp set. It's actually one that I really liked. I brought over some yellow markers. I hope I've got Memento on the table. I know I've got my cup of tea, see? Thank you, Tony. Has everyone else got their cup of tea? Okay. So Simply Said is a really good sentiment set. It's got the basic sentiments that we all use all the time, more so than any others. So it's one of our great if you're a beginner and you're starting out, it's a great beginner stamp set. We used it for one of our stamp clubs one month, and it just worked out fabulous because you could essentially do anything you liked with it. Okay, so Beauty of the Deep doesn't have sentiment, so I'm pulling in Simply Said. You can pull your sentiments from anywhere that you like. I could probably pull up a photo of the card that Lisa showed me. Sorry, Lisa, I'll just pull it up. We'll just put that out of the way so everybody see the lots and lots of writing that we've been doing. Okay, so this is a card that Lisa sent through to me that she wanted me to show her how we do it. It's probably a little bit fuzzy, and I'm sorry I can't get it any less fuzzy. Okay, so essentially it's a diorama style card. So we've got fish in the background of that one, but they're a bit cutesy. We don't have anything like that. So I thought I would show you something that I could do that was similar. So I've also pulled over with my shapes. I've pulled over my stylish shapes, and I've actually adhered my 3 rings together, my 3 circles. So these are all stitch circles, and I'm umming and ahhing about whether I'm going to use silver or whether I'm going to use a brown color. So I've got a couple of things. I haven't made this card yet. I have got a couple of little things up my sleeve. So I've got a Misty Moonlight base, some designer series paper. I remembered an envelope and inside. I've also got some silver foil. This piece is from the Meadow. It's gone, one of the Meadow sets. But when you look at the back, it's just really nice. It looks like the ocean. So you can get a similar sort of effect with your blending brushes. I did bring them with me as well. I've got a whole heap of stuff here on my table. I've also got some early espresso, and that, like I said, that was my inside. So this has got 2 sides to it, this paper. So I haven't decided which side I'm going to use. But essentially I want to be looking through something. So my plan is to show you how you can do it. And you can do it a couple of different ways. So what I did with the foil, when you cut those circles out as they are, where have they gone? Here they are. So when I've joined my 3 circles together, and this is essentially what I get. All right, and there will be a circle in the middle, of course. So I've got some stitched circles, and they actually look like portholes. All right, so I haven't decided, and actually because Lisa's here, she can choose both sides. Both sides, yeah. What's he's trying to confuse me, isn't he? All right. So I've got silver here, so we can use silver portholes, or we can use some early espresso. So we've got timber-like ones, which I think look really cool. I can hear him laughing at me now. Okay, so let's get this party on the road. So I will be making a portrait card because that's what I do. I always do portrait cards. I don't know if you've noticed, Pauline, have you noticed that 99% of my cards are portrait? Tony's being very helpful here, and he's commenting from the Peanut Gallery, which is also known as the other room, that you can use both sides of the designer series paper, which you can. Okay, so because of this paper, if I pop it on this way, it is actually going in my correct direction. However, if I want it to go that way, I need to cut it different. Portraits are good, I know, aren't they? Okay, so I will just, I'm thinking that I might use, the other option is just to use plain white. Now I want this blue one in it because that's the color of my card, the base that I've got. So I'm cutting it 14.5 by 10 to go on my card front. Okay, and I am thinking, and then this one here is actually going to be cut a little bit it's essentially at the moment it's cut well, I thought it was cut the same size. Yes, it's cut the same size. So there's a couple of different ways to do this. I've also got a piece of basic white cut the same size. So we'll have a bit of a look, all right, and see what we're going to come up with. Okay, so I'll just move these guys out of the way. Now, I've already cut these in our foil. So I'll cut them in some espresso for you, and you'll see what I mean. Because then I want to pull them apart. Hi Sharon, how you going? All right, so to this size, they actually fit through the mini, just so that you know. But the big one in the Beauty of the Deep dies doesn't fit through the mini. So I have got my big one over here. Okay, now I can pull them apart. Okay, so they're all stuck together there. And that's going to give me essentially my portholes if I decide that that's what I want them to be. So when you're sticking so you'll see they all just pop out. I've tried to be really neurotic about making sure my spaces were evenly proposed there. So what I'll do, and they get like a nice stitched area on them, which works out quite nice because I'm not sure, it might be easier to see on the foil. You see the stitching? Yeah, on the foil it's easier to see. Hi Chris. Gosh, everybody's here today. It's good to see everyone. All right. Okay, so I'll just pop all those to the side. Now, we've got a front piece of white and or designer series paper. So what I'm thinking we'll do is similar to what that looked like on that picture that I initially showed you, is we'll cut a circle probably about here and maybe another one, a smaller one down here. You can also cut a little one like this. Okay, and that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I'm thinking we're going to do. Actually, we don't want the big one. Now, the reason why I don't want the big one, I got too many bits of stuff. We don't want the big one because I want to be able to put these around them. So we need this circle here, which cuts the inside of that one. Okay, because then that will cut out that circle. Does that make sense? Hi, honey. So we're going to use this circle here, and that's going to cut out that circle there, because then we can stick the brown or the silver on it. And then to cut out the smaller circle, so it's these two that we need to use. This one here would cut out that whole big one, and we don't want to do that. Okay, so we'll just put that one to side. All right, so we're going to cut out these two, and which means we'll have to run it through twice. And I'll cut out a white one as well, because it will look a little bit different. Okay, but I am thinking I'm leaning towards, although I really do like the white one. I'm leaning towards doing this one. So we'll do this. And a top. And keep these little bits because you can use them for something else. Okay. These bits that we're cutting out. You know, because I like to keep absolutely everything. Just ask Tony, he'll tell you. Okay, since he's sitting in the other room watching. All right. So we've got some circles. Now, what I might do is, just because we can, birthday wishes will not fit in there, but just a note does. But it means that I'm going to need another brown circle, or we can stick a silver one around it just because it's, so we're going to do just a note, okay? All right, so I'll just stick that one there like so. Now, I don't know if you remember, we did have a die that did this before, and there was a circles one that was random circles on it, and there was like, it was like a peekaboo type die. So if you've got that still, you can use that instead. All right. So now they've actually got stitching around them, but we're not going to need that. So we're going to just take these away because I'll come back to needing that in a minute. And then this piece is going to sit behind it. Now, if you would like to, and I think looks really fabulous, is if you pop this piece on the top up. So if you want to make it a bit thicker, you can by cutting that with a piece of cardstock at the same time, and it will just make it a little bit stiffer, or you just use extra dimensionals. Now, because we've cut this piece off at the side here, we do have to make sure it's the same size. We can't, normally I make them a little bit smaller, but we don't want to be doing that. You could make it a little bit smaller down this edge and this edge, but you do need to butt it against this one correctly, just saying, okay? So that already looks a bit fishy, like we're looking into the ocean. When you go and add a porthole circle to it, it's going to look even better. Just see what I mean? How cool's that? All right, and because I might put the sentiment in this one down here, we're going to add the silver one to make it a little bit more special. Or we could add a silver one up here instead. So let's start building this card. Let's get some elements ready. We've got a front. All right, we need some fish. Yeah. Okay. So this is a really pretty stamp set, and I will be honest, I haven't done a lot with it. I should have done a lot more with it. We've got coral, we've got fish, we've got bubbles, we've got plants, we've even got a spiny sea urchin in there. So on my piece of basic white, I really love this guy. This is our angelfish. And I'm going to do him in Memento, and you always find them in a school. Okay, when we're in Fiji, we saw a couple of these guys, and they're very black. That didn't stamp very good. It's because I haven't used it before. Let's give it a bit of a clean. These are black and yellow, these guys. That one's no good. Squish him over there. Okay. All right, so we'll give him a bit of a clean. Oh, that's better. That looks better. And we might have two of these guys. Although we probably need school, so we probably need 3. But there's nothing stopping us from, I'm not sure how we're going to do it. It got all spotty again. It must be a bit on my stamp. Yeah, I think it's a bit on my stamp. On my ink pad. Okay. It's a bit, I've had it sitting upside down, like stored up that way, so it's as juicy as they come. Now, the only reason I'm doing this guy black is because that's what color they are. All right. So I also brought over some petal pink. And the reason I brought petal pink over is because there's this really cool dye in here. You know, in the dyes that I've just put away. So what I'm thinking is really cool set dye. That's brand new and doesn't want to come out. Really cool dye in that. And then, I mean, corals are all pretty colors. No, I don't want that color. I had a little piece. Oh, I don't have it. So what I'm going to do is I've got ink here, and I will color this. I want this one. and I want this one. So what I'm saying is I don't have the ink. I don't have the color cardstock on my table that I wanted. Okay, so what I'm going to show you I'll do, I've got ink here on my table in the colors that I want, but I don't have the colored cardstock. I've also got some Stampin' Blends on the table. So let's say we haven't got the color that we really want with us, and there's nobody around to go and get it for me because I did not bring a single green over with me, which is really silly, but that's okay. Cheers. So, and it's got weed, and weed needs to be green. Okay, oh, that one. Let me see. Oh, we need him. We need this one. Okay. So, ask and ye shall receive. I'd like Pretty Peacock, please, and Shaded Spruce from over there. How cool is that? All right.
Colour.
Yes, please, ink. Nothing like a challenge. We'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'm going to cut some coral out in that, and I bought the petal pink over with me so that I can then highlight it. I've got my little fish to cut out. I've got some extra pieces here of coral to cut out. I also want this long weed. I think I need some of that long weed. What do you reckon? We need that one, and we'll always need some bubbles and some of these little bits of weed here as well.
The other colour?
No, that's not the other colour. I've got that one here that I need. So I need some greens, honey. Okay, and here it is. Let's see if we can get a dark green as well. What do you reckon? Okay. Actually, that's going to work perfect. We'll have this little guy. He's a good egg. He's found me some dark greens. Just saying.
Is that it?
Yep.
Okay.
Cool. All right, and we'll put those there. And let's have. Okay. So Tony grabbed me some Mossy Meadow and some Garden Green. So we'll use the Garden Green for this one here. Oh, look at that. How nice is that flower? How nice is that nice bit of greenery there? So you want to get all of your bits that you want ready. Might get another piece of paper. Just re-wet my ink. Okay. So you want all your bits ready, okay? Because then we can cut them all out in one go. So I'll pop that on it there. Let's cut these out so that they're done. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do with them to colour them a little bit more. Got my muscles about me today. Okay. So we're just going to have some of this pretty coral. And it looks like I'm going through that one by itself. Come back to me. I don't usually do two, but that's okay. It's quite an intricate die, that one, so I do want it to fall out, which it's done. And that one's very pretty. We've got all those little bits there. Now we'll do this one here. Now, if you're not sure if it's going to stay where you really want it to stay, make sure you use some washi tape. Okay? But I'm going to cross everything and hope for the best. Only go through once. That's all you need to go through. That's number 2. And now we've got this one here. Now this time I will use some washi tape because I'm going to use more than one die at a time. If you're using more than one die at a time, you do need washi tape on there. Where's my fish? All right, and you'll notice, see how it's got these little holes in it? You see them? These little holes. When you're lining them up on your fish, you should be able to see those 2 little holes, in this case, should go black because they're going to be where the fish is. All right. The little bits, the tail end bits of that's where the little curly bit of the angelfish is. This little piece is going to go on here. Up the other way, caught. And again, I might use some washi tape just because it's because I've got more than one die on here. And they have a tendency to move when there's more than one on there for some reason. I'm not sure what the deal is. So I do stick down all of them when I've got more than one on here. And I don't know if you'll notice that this one here's got that dot as well. So you should be able to see your colour through it as well. Okay. And we'll just go like that. All right. That's another one. Oh, that wasn't as good. That was a bit dodgy, that one. Hopefully we don't need it. We'll see how we go. But I do need at least 3 fish. So I'll get another fish and another piece of this greenery because I really like it. So there's lots of different things that you can do with use to make diorama cards. Essentially anything that you've got that will make look like it's looking into our card. Oh, I don't need this one anymore, so I can take that one off. All that one I'll do is cut up my board anymore, which it definitely does not need. Okay. Oh, hi Cheryl, how you going? No kitties this afternoon. There's another fish. See what I mean? So it comes out perfect when you line up those circles. And we'll get that last one there. Because we've got a couple of holes to fill. Okay. So anything that you can make it look like it's going to give it some depth. Now, there are lots of different ways you can make diorama cards. You can make them so that they actually stand up and look like a diorama. We used to have a set of dies that were all like squiggly shaped. I wanted to say circles then, but you know what I mean. They were a squiggly shape. They weren't a circle, but they're all different sizes. And it looked, if you did them in all different gradiating colors, it looked like they were just, you were going into them, which was fabulous. Put that to the side. So at the moment, I think we've cut what we need unless we decide to throw the anchor in because the anchor's pretty cute. Okay, because I do like the anchor. But we'll see how we go. All right. So I'll just stick those over to the side there. That one's all right. So these will all come out and they look quite squiggly. They're really cool. Like, look at them. I'm sure that you could probably do something else with those, but actually you probably very much could. I'll see. We might be able to add them into our, but yeah, it's just I find with the dies that are like really fine, My Take Your Pick tool was hiding under here somewhere, but it's developed some legs. Oh, there it is. Found it. There's just one bit that doesn't want to come out. Oh, just fell back in. So how cool is that? But it's very flat at the moment. So what we need is a blending brush. And where's my petal pink? So we've got petal pink here. I do have other colors on the table, but we'll just get a little bit of petal pink and we'll just give it a bit of depth. Okay. And if we do it around the edges, it's like the light is shining in on it. Okay, I'm going to give you a job to do, Lisa. Can you please, or Cheryl, someone, can you message the darling Linda and tell her that we're doing a live, and if she would like to check in, she can have a look online and see us, because that was her that just rang. All right, so you'll see how it pops? Just change, oh, actually, where's the piece of white cast? Look, there's my envelope. Right, you can see it just changes the color a little bit. All right, and it just makes it so that it gives it a bit of dimension, and it just makes it really look really nice. Now with these guys, these angelfish are yellow and black, so hence why I brought over my blends. If you don't have blends, you can use the water marker, the normal markers. You can use your Wink of Stella and your, I think daffodil would probably be the best color to use. And you could put some color on. So like I've got 3 of them. So we'll do 2 different ones and we'll see which ones we like the best. So personally, I think I'm going to like the Stampin' Blends the best. And I already can tell that. Okay. Because, yeah, Stampin' Blends all the way here. Right. And I don't know if you remember my ones from last week, my daffodil that was looking pretty. How's your father? I got new ones. It's so nice. Look at that tip. Isn't it lovely? All right, so and then with this one here, we might do this one. I'll make it darker on its nose and this bit here on its tail. And we'll do that stripe down the middle again. Where's my third one? I'm sure I cut out a third one. Here he is. I just give it a bit of a quick colour. New markers are always so nice. Oops, that one didn't end up with some dark on that tail end, but that's okay. We can put that in there. How gorgeous do they look? Okay. What else we got here? So we got a few things happening. What I might do, that one ended up turning out really dodgy. That's okay. Thanks. Doesn't matter. All right. Where's my front? Okay, so what I've got here, I won't be putting those on just yet. What I need to do is I need to make it so that I can see where my circles are. Now, you don't have to have it perfect, but this is your friend. It's just a plain lead pencil, and you just very lightly, if you just very lightly trace around these bits here. And the reason why I'm only doing those bits there is because you'll see that's where I'm going to stamp some stuff. So it's very faint. No one will be able to see it afterwards. I'm going to pop my sentiment in this one. Okay, and we were going to do just a note, because just a note can be anything, because you can put just a note on the front and then you can put happy birthday in the middle. You don't need to put it like, you know, you can say hello if you wanted to. So if I do just a note, I know that it's going to fit in that circle, whereas the happy birthday won't. Okay, So we'll do that. I'll take you off. And let's do it in early espresso. And we're going to cross everything to make sure that it goes on there nice and straight. And grit your teeth. Smile sweetly. Tell it how wonderful it is and pick it up. All right, and that's our just a note. Just a note, thinking of you. Just a note, miss you. Just a note, happy birthday because we missed it. You know, lots of things. All right, but we didn't stamp our inside, but we'll get back to that. So I put my just a note away because I want this block for something else. Okay. Now, because I put my pencil there, I can see where it is. Now, if you've got a Dauber or one of our small blending brushes, the little ones, you can also add some color here. So again, it's going to look like it's deeper. This here is Lost Lagoon. You don't need to use Lost Lagoon. You can use any color you like, just to give it a little bit of shadow. All of this bit here is actually going to be underneath our wooden fence, for want of a better word. So let's pop, I'm going to use some, let me see, what will I use? It's watery, it's deep. I'm going to go with some of this, this one here's Garden Green. All right, and just to add a little bit of a different color to our water underground. Okay, I've put a bit of it up here on my mat, so because the water underneath the water is not the same color. It's not all blue, it's not all white, it's not all green, but we just want a little bit. All right, our bubbles are going to come in, and our bubbles I'm going to do in, ooh, what color should we do them in? I'm thinking that we might do them in some Misty Moon. I've got Misty Moonlight. Actually, I've got Bummy Blue over here. Let's do them in Bummy Blue because I only really want them quite light. Not sure what they're going to look like. Show you a tip. Stamp somewhere that's not going to get seen so you can see what it's going to look like. Well, I'll tell you now, it's going to look like nothing because you can barely see them. Okay, well, that colour's no good because you can't see them. Okay, and I can look right up close, but I can't see them. So we'll try again. This one here is Misty Moonlight. We'll try that like I said in the first place. And that's really dark. So that's probably a bit too dark for what I want. But if we stamp off, they're still a bit too dark. So that's not going to work either. I'll just give that one a bit of a clean. Night of Navy is too dark. All right, let's try some Azure Afternoon. I bought a whole heap of ink pads over. All right, I'll try that one. Perfect. Okay, so just lightly put a couple of little dots around there. And then I'll put some and they're just providing texture. Okay, not going to see a lot of it, but just providing a bit of texture. We're going to add a little bit of greenery. This guy here, this is Mossy Meadow. Okay. That's to our just a note. Okay. And then this one here, we're also going to use, I'm going to pop some of this at the background as well. I'm just going to use the Mossy Meadow to do it. But what I don't want it to do is I don't want it to land in another spot. So we can use our mask that we've created here, or we can just use a scrap of paper. When I say we can use our mask, we can just pop these over the top where we don't want there to be ink. All right, but that means I won't be able to use that for something else later. So I can just use a scrap. Because I really don't want it. Or do I? Yeah, I do. Okay, so what I've done is I've placed that in a particular spot. And now what I'm going to do, oh, I'm not going to do that. Why am I doing that? I haven't done that for ages. Oh my gosh, there's a dimensional cover back on it. Eek. Ew. Okay, now I've got green fingers. Okay, I put a bit of ink on my block, and I'm just going to color in these leaves. And yes, I'm using my Wink Stella brush. Some of them will be under my holes and others won't. So you don't need to color them all in. You just want to color the ones and you're going to see. Okay, so all of these ones are going to be over here where we can see them. And they're just going to provide a little bit of extra texture. Okay. And a little bit of extra depth. All right, let me show you what that's going to look like. And that way we can see if we want to add a bit more. See? So I think this one's going to need a bit more. But I do love how this one's come in here as well as up there. All right. Okay, because we're essentially, you're not going to see much under this one here, just a little bit. Because I'm going to put that down the bottom and we're going to have our fish in this one up here. I know that that's coral. I know that it's on the wrong side of the thing. I'm even going to put a fish that's on the wrong side, but that's okay. It's a card, and it's a piece of artwork. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be not perfect. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be real life perfect, like real life what you see. Okay, you know what I mean. All right, and I put some more. I'm going to put another weed in there. I think it needs more. Okay, because I really, really like this weed. Ooh, we could go like that. Okay. And again, we're going to colour it. But I will close this one up. All right. So we're doing everything on this back piece. This is a piece of Designer Series paper. That's its other side. It's quite pretty. Yeah, authentic. That's the word, Lisa. You knew what I meant. I will still blame. I had a scope yesterday, so I'll blame the anaesthetic. Because, you know, I'm officially not allowed to drive today either, but so I probably shouldn't be allowed to talk either, because I do say things that'll get muddled up. We need a little bit more of that long spindly weed. This one's going to get hidden mostly down there anyway. Okay. So we're going to have a fish It's going to come in here. I'm not going to see all of him. Some of him is going to get hidden. Yep, I think we need the anchor. What do you reckon? And that one I'm going to bring up the side there. Yeah, looking good. So that means, guess what that means is going to happen down here? There's more than one fish. Look at this one. How stinking cute is that? But it's just going to be a shadow of a fish. So let's make him, ooh, just put more green all over me. He's just going to be a shadow, so he can be stamped off. He's in early espresso at the moment. Oh, he's gorgeous. Make sure he's the right way up. And they're just going to be hanging out underneath the coral. Just because they can. And it's just a matter of building up your scene underneath where you want them to land. So the other thing that we can do is this guy here that we did in black before. We can also have some of him in the background because they swim in schools and there'll be shadows, and as you'll be looking backwards towards them, you'll find that you can see deeper if it looks like there's some off in the deep. Okay, so yes, this here, yeah, I agree to the anchor too. This looks like a bit like a dog's breakfast, right? Don't you agree? But once we start to build it up together, and that's what we're going to do now, is we're going to start to build it up, but we want to have one of these guys, and one of them was a bit dodgier than the others. I think this one here. I am going to put him so that he lands underneath. Oh, stamped all those ones up there and they didn't even show up. They're too high. Okay, let's get another one. There's a shadow of a fishy. Oh, hi Tanya, how you going? So, all right. So we're going to pop this fish here like so. I'm pretty sure that's approximately where I want him. No, too high. I want him down here. So he's going to sit underneath there. So I'll glue him on because he's going to sit under there. And then you'll see these ones here at the back look like they're off in the depth. Okay. I'll colour these leaves in as well. But let's put some dimensionals under here. Now, when you get your dimensionals, they've got this edge all the way around, or you can buy just sheets of it. Choice is yours. I find when I'm doing something like this, these edges come in handy because they give you nice long strips. So don't throw them away. They work the same as all the other dimensionals work. Quite nicely is probably the correct terminology that I want to use. All right. And they're really good for doing stuff like this, which gives you a lot more of a stable, it gives you like a stable edge for want of a better way of putting it for your card. All right. You can put some regular ones in there as well, but, and then we'll just put some of these ones down here. Now, if you wanted to turn these into a shaker, you would add some window sheet. You could add some window sheet so it gives you extra depth if you want, but I actually want to pop my fish out. So I'm not going to turn this one into a shaker, but you would add window sheet, then you put some dimensional all the way around so that it didn't, so your shaky bits didn't leak, and then you would do it that way. But this one's not going to be a shaker card. This one is a regular card with popped up fishies. Now this, you'll see this little corner piece down here, it will need a little bit of dimensional just to hold it up. And here's one that I cut earlier for something else, and that one will work for me there. Okay, so those are going to give, the decoration we've done there is going to give some depth. And then when we've added our circles, that's going to give it a little bit extra depth. So we'll just take all these bits of backing off. Okay. Now, if we had done this with a piece of white, it would work. It would look pretty clean. It would look very, very fresh, like that one, the original one that we showed you. Now, remember, this is exactly the same size. So to make my life easier, we'll just do it that way. And of course, I stuffed it up. Okay. So I stuffed it up a little bit, and it's not even down this edge. So I'm just going to come along with my snips and trim it, just because I can. Okay, so we've got one fish there. These guys are going to go with dimensionals underneath them. All right. Now, if I remember correctly, I cut out some more bits of coral. So we've got a school of fish happening up in this one up here. Okay. Are they pretty? I still think they need some wing Castella, but not in green. I just wiped it on my jeans to get the green off. Okay, just a little bit of wing Castella. Okay, so where did I put my card base? Right here in front of me somewhere. There it is. And because I've done that bit around the edge, you'll see that's going to fit on there quite nicely. All right. Looking good, isn't it? I did bring some ribbon over, but I don't think it's going to need it. So we've got little extra bits here. Now, did I end up cutting these bits out? I don't think I cut them out. So all these little extra bits of coral that have popped out. So there is these little bits here in our dies. They're rather cute, but I didn't cut them out, so we can't use them. So I can go back and cut them, that's not a problem, but we'll see what we're going to do first. I'm going to give this a bit of colour with that. This is on our basic white. Our basic white takes colour beautifully. It's different when you're colouring on designer series paper. You'll notice how it's a little bit darker when I'm doing it. I've got to hold my tongue right, I feel like. I'm going to be zapping my cup of tea in the microwave, that's for sure. All right. And we've got all of that happening there. And how pretty is one bit of greenery there. Okay. So I will, with these bits here, they don't look right just without having extra colour on them. Just be aware you will colour your finger doing it when it's fine like this. If you wanted to, you could put it back in the dye, in the piece where it came from, and you could go with it from there. But I want to stick it in up there. So these pieces here, we are going to stick. Just popping a little bit of, I'm just popping a little bit of glue on them. And now it looks like we are looking through a porthole at our fishies. Stick down. And then we'll do this one here. Just adds that extra pretty bit of colour and stuff. If you wanted to make it so that it didn't have, I'm going to put the coral at the front just because I can, but you could have made it so it was on the inside. This one here is going to go around this edge here, and then once, because that's not stuck down yet, remember? Wine for me. No tea for you, Lisa. So because I want that other piece to save it, I'm putting the glue around the edge there instead. Okay, and then I'll just stick that piece onto there like so, and I'll let it dry. Now I am going to stick that up there like so, just because it's pretty, and I am going to stick this one here underneath here again, just because it's pretty. And we said yes to the anchor, didn't we? That looks good. Oh, you're popping. Let's go get an anchor, okay? And we'll see what we can do with an anchor. And then we might put an anchor on the inside as well. There's a piece there. It's got that on the back, but nobody needs to know about that. Let's get an anchor. It's actually really nice. It's got nice dimension, this anchor. It's got, it's a distinctive stamp, so you can see how it's got shadow and shape. And I'm actually going to do it in the early espresso. But it would also look good in Night of Navy. It would also look good in the Misty Moonlight, just to bring the Misty Moonlight from the back to the front. But, oh, shall we see what Misty Moonlight looks like as well? Early espresso needs some ink, I think. Let's see which one's darker, because I want it to be nice and dark. Who's got the juicier ink pad? Misty Moonlight for the win, I reckon. Yep, Misty Moonlight for the win. There's our two anchors. We've got Misty Moonlight and we've got Early Espresso, and I'm thinking that we'll go with Misty Moonlight just to bring that colour in from the back. But let's cut them out. Okay. Like I said before, I could use the mini for this because it doesn't need to be such a big space that I'm using here. Now the anchor's got lots of little holes in it. Okay. So when we're putting it on, we should be able to see colour through those little holes. And I'm going to go with Misty Moonlight. Although I do think the Early Espresso one's probably the more appropriate colour, but we'll see. I've got to figure out how. Pretty sure that's the anchor. Actually, no, it's not the anchor. That's not the anchor. That's another bit of coral. Don't mind me. Whoopsie. Oh, look at that. An anchor, shaped like an anchor. If it's shaped like an anchor, looks like an anchor, it must be an anchor. Is that what they say? They usually say it was something else, don't they? All right, we have one Misty Moonlight anchor, actually cut perfectly. Let's see if I can cut the espresso one, and then we've got choice. Okay, and then you guys can choose which color we're going to have. So put your thinking caps on, because we get to choose what color anchor we're having. Part of me is wishing I'd stuck those little brown circles on. Oh no, it's perfect as well. Okay, so we've got an early espresso, and somewhere over here, yep, there it is, there, Misty Moonlight anchor. I really like the Misty Moonlight one. These guys need to stick down. Okay, so with this, now that it's stuck down, I'm just going to turn it over, and then I can snip that along there and along there, and I've got, if I really want it, I've got this piece for something for later, but I don't need it for now. That looks like it needs a bit of dimension under it. This piece could have been in underneath there. These little pieces could be in underneath there. If you would like them, I actually really like that. So I am going to do that. But to do it, because I've already glued all of that down, I will need my Take Your Pick tool, which I've got such a big table, should not have disappeared. Come on, come to me. And so I can put a little bit of glue on it. Okay. And then I can wiggle it around with my Take Your Pick tool. I'm going to shove it underneath there. And might have this one here. Let's put a bit of colour on that. There's already still heaps of ink on here, hence why I can get away with just huffing on it. Now, if I wanted to make it a bit of a different colour, even though I've cut out in our petal pink, I can just add some colour that way. Okay. And we'll stick it sort of under that fish as well. All right. So we've got no fibre on it. It's not like me. Okay, we'll just pop some glue on here. Now I'm going to stick it all together. You notice I'm leaving that piece there because I'm quite happy that that little bit of that brown is going over that edge, because there's plenty of room for it. Hold your tongue straight while you line everything up. Make sure it's all nice and straight. Okay, so have we decided what colour anchor? Got to help move the trailer. Oh, what fun. Okay, what colour anchor? Come on, guys. We need either Misty Moonlight, or did you want to see them on there? I'm thinking that we need the blue one, the Misty Moonlight one. So what do you reckon? Misty Moonlight or Early Espresso? Blue or brown for our anchors? Give me some colours. And I will delve into... Nope, my box is not here, so we get no fibre today. Okay? No fibre today. So this one here I'm going to pop there after I put this one here. Blue. Lol's gone with the blue one. Any other votes? Lisa? What do you reckon? What colour anchor would you like on it? Okay. Yep, blue. And we'll put some of these ones here. Now, the other thing with this, I know I said I stuffed it up, but nobody said you have to use the whole lot. So, even though I stuffed it up, I can still use it because it will actually be very effective for where I'm about to put it. Oops, got a bit too generous with the glue there. And I'm just going to stick it under here, just so I've got something there. Now, nobody said we have to use the whole piece, so I'm actually going to trim that off. Okay. I really like that. Yep, I think the blue one too. So we're going to pop this on here. If you want to use our adhesive sheets, pop the adhesive sheet onto your petal pink first and then send it through the die cutting machine. And this will turn into a sticker. Now, the only thing with that, and I'm wishing I hadn't done that, the only thing with that is you don't want it to stick down at the back up there. Now, I will chop off along this edge, just that piece there. Okay. My scissors were sticking to me. Okay. Oops. It looks like I chewed through it. Can't have that nonsense. Okay. Ugh. I got glue all over my hands. I'm sure you would have worked it out, Lisa. I'm sure that you would have. I have no qualms in thinking that you wouldn't have worked it. I'm pretty sure, 100% sure that you would have worked it out. So, and we might put that on some dimensionals as well, just to pop them up a little bit more. And I've got some minis here because around the neck of the anchor is quite skinny. But we'll put a normal one down here in that fat bit of my anchor. And I'm just going to stick it there. And just because I can and I want to, I'm chopping those bits off level with the edge of the card. Okay, so just a note. Now, you can put sparkles on it if you want. I actually don't think it needs any. I think that little bit of silver does the job. And there's little bits of, there's like a glittery bit underneath. So because I've made my fish all glittery, I'm thinking about it and making my pants all glittery. You can come along and put a little bit of glitter on your bit of coral because it just looks pretty. And you'll see that you've got all those bits of sparkly there that you don't need to add anything extra to it. Now we need an inside and an envelope. It pretty much talks to itself when it comes to what you're going to do on the inside of the envelope. You've got quite a bit of variety. You can do another bit of coral. You can do some more fish. The choice is yours. Okay. So, but what I do need to do is, because I've got quite a bit of a mess happening here on my table, your glass mat's perfect for stamping on, but if you put ink on it, you do need to wipe it off before you put anything that you want to stay white on both sides, like your envelope. Okay. This piece is my innard. So let's do a couple more fish. We'll do another fish and we'll put some coral down the bottom and whatnot. So with my fish, I just stamped him in black. My black ink is looking like so wet it's not funny. So my fish is very, very damp. And just because he's in a school. All right, there's another fish. We should have put one of those fish on the front. No, we'll just stick some coral on the front of the envelope. Okay, and let's get this coral here. Again, it's because it's got texture on it, it looks really cool. So I am going to do this coral in, yeah, you would have. This coral here is in the beautiful petal pink. That'll change its color a little bit in a minute. And then we're going to do some reedy bits. We'll use our garden green. We will use garden green. We'll use our granny apple green and some garden green as well. All right. And it's floating in front of our coral. My gosh, my table's a mess again. And I'm going to come back and I will colour in those fish. Okay, so we need to put something on our envelope. Granny apple green. And we were using mossy metal. Oh, no, there's the garden green. Why am I using two different colours? The same reason why we stamp on and off, just to give a little bit of variety. Okay, just so it adds a little bit of variety to the colouring. A little bit of weed in there. Sweet as. Okay, and again, just wipe off your glass mat. The glass mat cleaner's over there on the table because I just pulled my glass mat back over here to do this. Okay, this is dark. It's up to you, whichever end you want to use. There's the brush end and there's a bullet end. And that was dark. And look, they write on here beautiful. Oh, maybe not this colour. There's my fishies. And there's the inside of our card. So it's just a note. It could be just a note for anything. Happy birthday. A note because, sorry, I missed your birthday. A note just because. But it's so cute. And you can do with lots of our different stamp sets. Oh, someone says I might have cut this one wrong. No, perfect. Okay. One very fishy note card. All right, so what do you think? Beauty of the Deep. It is a stamp set. There is a matching die set. They're not a bundle. but they're found in the annual catalogue in the Encore section. You can add them to your cart. You can add them to a joining kit. You can join them up with some of the good stuff from the mini catalogue. You can do all of those other fabulous things that you want to with them. Here it is again. Turned out rather smick, and it's really hard for you to see, but I can see it. Everything is sparkly because of our wink of Stella. So you can also do this sort of trick with any of our nesting dies. So in the stylish shapes, we have also got, don't mind me, I'm just pulling everything out here. We've got other shapes, they'll work as well. So Lisa, you could do a square window. The flaggy bits won't work so well, but you could do a square window. You can even make it bigger. So it just depends on what you want to do and what sort of the look is that you're going for. I like the circles because they just remind me of portholes, which is why, hence the fish. This is a set that I do really like. I really like this. I haven't used that one yet, but I really like it. And I just love this little guy. I think he's just one of the cutest. Dreadful for the environment, but, you know, one of the cutest. So there it is. Once again, thank you all for joining me this afternoon. Hope that you had a little bit of enjoyment watching that. I hope that you get some inspiration from it, and I will catch up with you all next week. Same spot. I don't know whether it'll be 3 or 4 depending on what the kid is up to, but check back around 2ish and I will let you know. Okay, there'll be a post on the Facebook page to tell you. All right, everyone, toodaloo. I'll catch up with you all later. Bye.